Hi. I've played this game like 6 times before I even started recording it, so buckle in because I have a lot to say. Seriously, I haven't reviewed a game that I love this much since Devil May Cry 3. Funnily enough, this is also the third entry of the Metroid series, and the only one on the Super Nintendo. I mean, at this point, pretty much every classic NES game was getting a sequel on this system. Well, except for like Mighty Bomb Jack. Metroid 2 wasn't reviewed as well as the first game, probably because it was on a handheld system, and people back then just thought more graphics was more better. I didn't see that Metroid 2 was clearly the superior game, but the reviews didn't stop Super Metroid from hitting shelves 3 years later, and this is probably the most popular game in the series, so let's see what makes this Metroid so super. To start, I really like the music. I didn't really mention it in the other games because they didn't exactly stick with me, but I find myself humming some of these themes to myself regularly. All the way up to the boss themes. It's a really good soundtrack, I highly recommend it. With the baby Metroid that Samus found safely being researched for the good of the galaxy, because of course there's a way to use an energy-sucking monster for peace. Samus leaves to find a new bounty to hunt, but pretty much the moment she puts the keys in her spaceship, the space pirates attack the station and the revived Ridley takes the baby Metroid and blows the place up. What do you know, the exact same thing that happened last time Metroids were being studied, happened again. Also, considering that not only is this the same setup as Metroid 1, but it also takes place in the space pirate base on Zevis, and you also start with no items when in Metroid 2 you started with at least Morph Ball and missiles, and the Morph Ball is in the same spot it is in the first game, I wouldn't be surprised if someone who wasn't paying attention during the intro thought it was a remake. But nope, this is after Metroid 2, and you even go to the old Mother Brain room. It's pretty cool to see this area in the aftermath of its destruction. It is pretty cool to get to explore this area with the better movement carried over from Metroid 2. Like this room that originally led to Kraid, you can now aim down when you're in the air, shoot the blocks, and it's where you find missiles. But it seems that the rest of Brinstar is blocked off, so we have to go back up to the starting area and...
Space pirates!
So yeah, this is the first time we actually get to fight regular space pirates. They're placed all throughout the planet, and they're nothing special, but it's nice to see them for the first time instead of just their bosses. Oh, hey nice, you get the bombs pretty early. Oh, I can't get out. I guess they want me to bomb my way out. Holy shit, the statue got up. Well, now that I know that even the Chozo statues might try to kill me and nowhere is safe, let's go to the new area of Brinstar. Also, this is the best theme in the game. Just thought I'd say that. One of the biggest aspects of this game, at least to me, is sequence breaking. One of the new items, Super Missiles, is found after fighting the mini-boss Spore Spawn. But using a movement glitch called the Mach Ball that lets you dash while in Morph Ball, you can get through this area and find a Super Missile pickup. Oh yeah, there's a run button now, you're gonna want to know that. It was definitely unintentional because the pickup to unlock these items is the same as the one to increase ammo, which would eventually change in future games, but we'll get there when we get there. As for now, it's great to do things out of order because what I think this game's best feature is the movement. Along with the run button, a wall jump was also added, and because there isn't a set arc, you can jump up the same wall and even around obstacles, which also lets you get Spazer a little early, and you can even get into Kraid's lair before getting high jump like you're supposed to. Look at him. You were big man last time, Kraid, but now I hold the super missiles. Hey, what's in here? Oh, Kraid's been eating his vegetables. Everyone brace for impact. As opposed to getting a bunch of missiles, our reward for killing Kraid this time is the Various Suit, which now has a new function as opposed to just damage reduction. There are some rooms that are super hot and Samus takes damage if she's in them. The Various Suit lets you go through these rooms no problem. Going into Norfair, you can use the Mach Ball to get Ice Beam early, and the beam types even stack now, Ice Beam mixed with Spazer, and even if you could only have one at a time, you can now toggle them in the pause menu, so really just a great improvement all around. This is also where you find the high jump boots, which is how you're supposed to reach Kraid, but I don't play by the rules. My way just cuts down on some very small backtracking, like literally one room, But that means that we can just go on to the next area, which is where we end up getting Wave Beam and 2 new items. The first one I got by... Okay, look, I used this frozen guide this time, but I swear I can do this wall jump, I was just tired. Hidden behind the wall is one of 4 reserve tanks. These hold health for you, so if you ever run out, you get pretty much a second wind, but do keep in mind they won't fill your health back up. I think the max is 200 energy. Going back across to this room brings us to yet another new addition, the Speed Booster. Time to play everyone's favorite game. What does the item with the very descriptive name do? I'm your host, Jonathan Johnson Johnsmith, aka J4, and the item in question is the Speed Booster. Does it A, launch you in a direction at the expense of your health with controls so precise that not even people who've been playing this game since the 90s fully understand how it works? B, boost your speed, or C, lock in your answers now. If you guessed D, all of the above, then you're dead wrong. C isn't even close to the right answer. What is wrong with you? Security, get this degenerate out of here. Matter of fact, you do win a prize, a Spirit Airlines flight to Detroit. The Speed Booster lets you run faster if you run for a certain amount of time, and when you're glowing, you're, I think, pretty much invincible to everything, and you can break the special blocks. If you crouch while boosting, you store a charge, and by jumping while not moving, you can shoot yourself up, diagonally, and horizontally at the expense of your health. It will never kill you, but if your health is too low, then you won't get very far. That move is called Shine Spark, by the way. I realized I didn't name it here, but I call it by its name, Shine Spark, later in the video. So, it's called Shine Spark. The problem I have with it in this game is that I'm not entirely sure how going horizontally works. It feels like there's one frame where you can press left or right, and if you're too late, you just go up, and if you press it too soon, then you'll just spin jump. Diagonal movement is much easier because you can just press L and then you'll shoot diagonally. Oh yeah, you can use the L and R button to aim up and down now, expanding on the already improved movement from Metroid 2. Honestly, I forgot to mention it there because it felt so natural. And also, when you see me aiming up and down, that's because speedrunners do it, and I like to feel like I'm smart. Oh, an alien that opens its mouth. Let's see how many missiles we can shove in there. How's Super Missile taste? Oh, jeez, that's kind of morbid, don't you think? Oh, shit, he's back? Or I guess not? Damn, this dude was kind of just minding his business. I came in here and melted his skin off. Am I the bad guy here? Now that he's not in the way, we can Shine Spark across this gap to lead us to the first Power Bomb. At least I think this is the first one. I honestly don't remember the way you're intended to get these. I know you're supposed to grapple beam across, but as far as I'm aware, you need power bombs to get the grapple beam. Also, I should note here, because it's just coming to my mind now, you never need to figure out Shine Sparking or wall jumping. I did my first few times playing it. I found that out watching other people. So if you can't do it, you can still very much enjoy this game. The power bomb is pretty much just a normal bomb that covers a large area, and the grapple beam lets you swing on these hooks. The swinging controls feel a bit off though. I think it's the momentum mixed with most grapple segments looking like this, so you'll mostly just be moving like this. Also, I should mention a very small nitpick I have. Every time you get an item, it plays the fanfare. Even when you're grabbing more missiles and power bombs. The total cap is 230 missiles, 50 super missiles, and 50 power bombs, and every single time you grab one, it plays. It's not a huge deal, it doesn't bring the game down, but you sort of notice it. Now that we have almost every item that's represented at the top of the screen, we can go get the last one, which is a decent addition for newcomers, the Scan Visor. X, Rayscope. Scan visor? When it's equipped, pressing the run button lets you see through hidden blocks. It's not great, needing to come to a full stop to scan every block is tedious, and when you've played the game as often as I have, it's completely useless. I only used it because I got 99% item completion on my last playthrough and it's been eating at me all week. But still, for newcomers who don't know where every hidden micropixel is, it can be helpful. Also, I recommend changing the item switch to one of the face buttons. It makes switching to power bombs and grapple beam a little less tedious. Only a little, but less. Going back, we end up in Criteria again, where some Shine Sparks can nab us some more items. I really love the shortcuts that this ability leads to. Once we're done and finally move to the right of where we started, we're in this wrecked ship where the power's out and there are ghosts. Including this guy, who I tried to ask for directions, but he just exploded. That's kind of rude. It's not my fault that, hey, how do I get to Meridia from here? It's said by shooting 100 missiles at your eye in ghost language. After Fantoon explodes rudely, and the power comes back on coincidentally, you find a new suit that's purple. 10 out of 10. The gravity suit adds more heat resistance and damage reduction, but mainly it lets you move free underwater, which is important because the next area is almost completely underwater. This is probably where a lot of people are going to get lost. Meridia is kind of confusing and there isn't much hinting at where you need to go. Firstly, you'll find yourself back in the area between Brinstar and Norfair, where this tube can be power bombed, and going up through this area will lead to this room with multiple paths. 3 of them lead to more items, and 1 leads to these fake Metroids? Mocktroids? Wait, what do you mean that's their official name, not a stupid pun I thought of? They're not really a threat, and they're only in this area in a few rooms before the boss. Speaking of the boss, Dragon is one of the cooler ones, not because of his design or his attacks, but because you can use the environment to kill him quickly, and I don't know what any of his actual attacks look like. Behind this door is Space Jump, which I don't actually think is required, but it makes traversing easier, so I'm fine with it. Funnily enough, the exact same can be said for Spring Ball here, except since it's not needed, I kinda wish you got it sooner. You don't even need it to get out of the room that you get it in. Now that the third main boss is dead, we need to go back to Norfair to enter Ridley's lair. This is another example of how I kind of forget so much about this game despite playing it all the time. I'm pretty sure there's a way into this room from the top, but I can't even imagine the layout of it. It might not even exist because I never go up that way. Man, it seems like every area starts with going left in this game. You know, I'm kind of surprised they haven't had a Chozo statue get up again. It was a pretty good shock before, but I guess it was just a one and... Never say anything again. Well, this one won't be that bad. I got a ton of missiles now. Okay, I didn't know that the Z-axis was gonna make a cameo here, but try dodging a super missile, bit. What did I just say? Well, it's a good thing that he's weak to the plasma beam and... Wait a minute. My alien bird sense is tingling. Stay here 1 second, Golden Torizo. Nice. Well, now that that guy's dead and I stole his screw attack from him, we can kill these golden space pirates. Oh yeah, for the first game to feature space pirates as enemies, they don't really do much past show you what your new items can do. Like, these ones can be killed with your normal beam, these ones need missiles, these ones ice beam, plasma beam, and screw attack. Although there are these ones that can't be killed while they're grid, you have to bait out a jump attack to make them vulnerable, but still, they're like the only memorable ones in the whole game. I know you're in here, Ridley, you big fucking nerd. Where's my goddamn baby energy draining alien? You know, I'm just now realizing that I forgot to mention the charge beam. You get this before even fighting Spore Spawn. It's pretty self-explanatory. Charge shots do more damage than normal shots, and if you run out of missiles, they can be used to hurt bosses. Also, if you turn off ice and plasma beam and equip power bombs, then charging up your shot does... Well, I'm not entirely sure what this is, but I see speedrunners do it when they fight Ridley, so I'm doing it. Also, if you turn Ice Beam back on while that attack is going, it looks like this. Well, Ridley's dead again. That'll teach you to come back from the dead. Now, don't do it again. Now that we've killed all the Golden 4, it's time to do some small cleanup. Assuming I've gotten all the items I could, then going back for the few I missed isn't that much of a hassle, mostly because they're pretty much all in Brinstar, I think. But see, here's where the fanfare becomes really noticeable every time you get an item. Well, this part pretty much goes exactly the same as Metroid 1. Go to Turian through a room that unlocks when you've killed all 4 main bosses, kill the Metroids in every room, avoid the lava, almost get killed by the grown-up Metroid larva that is now the Super Metroid, use the restore station to make the annoying sound stop, fail the Zeb skip for the 5th time in a row, and kill Mother Brain. My superior explosive devices have proved too much for you yet again. Oh, she still has a hitbox. So that must mean...
It's got chicken legs!
This is fine, I still have most of my missiles, as long as she doesn't have some sort of supercharged beam that drains all my health and ammo. Don't make me come in there. Thankfully, the Super Metroid shows up and pulls a Mothra to save us, giving us the Hyper Beam. Such a proud father. This drains Mother Brain and causes yet another self-destruct, which means another race back to the ship, but with a bit more going on this time than just jumping up small platforms. After failing this Shine Spark for the first time in my life, I swear the recording curse is real. You can go down to where the bombs were and save these animals. They showed up earlier and show you how to wall jump in Shine Spark, and you can blast this wall to save them. Also, all saving them does is add this little speck to the scene of the planet blowing up. Alright, this time the entire planet explodes instead of just the space pirate's base. And good thing we got to our ship in time, and look at that, 100% item completion. God, I love this game. Everything about it's great. The music, the sequence breaking, the gameplay, it's all the perfect length where I can play this game over and over again and never get sick of it. I'll probably play it 10 more times before I'm even done with this marathon. It's the first game I ever tried to speedrun. I love 100%ing it. And I used to hate this game. The first few times I tried to play this game, I would get lost, quit after being sent back to a save, get stuck in this pit even though the way out was literally being shown to me. I almost gave up when I got to Meridia. But then I beat it for the first time, and I wanted to do it again, and again, and again, and I'm even playing the game right now while editing this. No, I'm not. It's a Metroid fan's game for sure. It's really rough on newcomers, but once you've joined the dark side, it shines the brightest. It falls into the category of it has a much smaller general appeal, but for the people who do like it, they really like it. I mean, this is up there with Devil May Cry 3. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Yeah, I'm one of those weird people who can accurately tell you a list of at least his top 3 favorite games of all time, and it won't change every time you ask me. I'm sure at some point soon, magic number 3 will appear on the list. On the list? On the list. It'll appear on my channel, not the list. It's already on the list. It's number 3 on the list. It was originally number 1 on the list. It shows how good this Devil May Cry 3 are. I doubt I'll ever find another game that I like this much. But that doesn't mean that I can't enjoy what comes next. So join me then when I take a look at Metroid Fusion. Until then though, I hope you enjoyed this video on Super Metroid. Like and subscribe with notifications on because... Look man, just do it! If it is your birthday, then happy birthday, and if you don't mind me, I'm starting another playthrough of Super Metroid. See you next mission.